Difficulty, which makes reading, holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Welcome to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Your reader for this hour is Dasha. We begin with the Amherst Bee. On the front page, Costco is scheduled to open in October. Based on the most recent information provided to the town of Amherst, Costco is currently targeting an October opening at 4230 Ridgely Road, according to Jessica O'Neill, Chief of Staff for the Office of Supervisor. According to various media outlets, the opening will take place in late October. Construction of the long-awaited Costco has taken longer than expected, with several revisions to its anticipated opening date. The retailer initially targeted a spring 2026 debut, but weather-related construction delays pushed that timeline to August. The location will be the first Costco in Western New York, bringing the membership-based warehouse retailer's bulk shopping model to the region. Costco is actively hiring for this location. It will include a 160,000 square foot warehouse and a gas station. Amherst pledges accountability and transparency following audit revelations by Bob Kupchik. An audit conducted by the New York State Comptroller's Office under Thomas P. DiNapoli found that town of Amherst officials failed to consistently follow union contracts and town policies when awarding employee leave, approving stipends, and calculating separation payments, severance pay, resulting in questionable payments, poor oversight, and potential overpayments. The 25-page audit released this month examined the period from January 1, 2023 through May 22, 2025, during the administration of former Supervisor Brian Culpa. Current Supervisor Sean Lavin served on the town board during the audit period and became supervisor on January 1, 2026. A summary of the audit included problems with leave time. Auditors reviewed 116 employees and found numerous cases in which vacation time was improperly carried over. Employees received more leave than they were entitled to, and exempt employees accumulated compensatory or flex time that was not authorized under town policy. The questionable leave totaled more than 14,000 hours, valued at more than $741,000. Officials also found employees often approved and tracked their own leave without supervisory oversight. Unsupported stipends. The town paid 47 stipends, totaling nearly $618,000 during 2023 and 2024. Auditors said 22 of those stipends, worth about $328,000, lacked documentation explaining the additional duties employees were expected to perform or why the extra compensation was justified. Questionable separation payments. Of 119 employee separation payments reviewed, auditors found 78 payments totaling $2.5 million that were inaccurate or inconsistent with labor agreements or town policies. The report identified potential overpayments totaling about $334,900, including payments based on leave employees may not have been entitled to receive. Auditors attributed the problems to a decentralized payroll system, inconsistent record-keeping, limited oversight, inadequate training for department heads, and a lack of written procedures governing leave, stipends, and separation payments. They issued 14 recommendations, including requiring independent reviews of leave records, better documentation for stipends, clearer policies, and stronger oversight of separation payments. In its response, the town of Amherst said it agreed with most of the recommendations and has already begun implementing reforms, including a centralized time and attendance system, new approval procedures, revised employee policies, additional documentation requirements, and supervisor training. Town officials said many of the audit findings stemmed from a long-standing, decentralized payroll system and a lack of written documentation. rather than intentional misuse of benefits, and they disputed some of the comptroller's conclusions. Town of Amherst Supervisor Lavin released the following statement on Monday. I would like to thank New York State Comptroller Thomas P. DiLapoli and his staff for conducting these thorough audits. Their findings independently corroborate several issues I prioritized on taking office as town supervisor. The town operated with a legacy decentralized administrative structure, which siloed tracking systems across departments led to documentation gaps, a lack of clear understanding related to the duties surrounding certain salary stipends, and errors in reporting to the state retirement system. Since assuming the role of supervisor, I've worked with the town board members and key departments to implement and adopt time and attendance policies and to replace the town's outdated systems with a centralized automated system that ensures accountability and protects taxpayer dollars. I want to stress to Amherst taxpayers that the audit did not allege any fraud, malfeasance, or deliberate misuse of public funds. In most cases, the audit identified gaps in internal documentation and a lack of secondary verification for legacy practices. The potential overpayments cited in the report fundamentally represent a lack of historical paperwork, not an actual direct cost to the taxpayer. Put simply, the town had structural issues in tracking its compliance with its own policies and collective bargaining agreements. Moving forward, I've made my expectations clear to every department head. Every single dollar of taxpayer money must be rigidly accounted for, and all funds expended must be strictly in line with existing and future town policies. We welcome this independent review as a tool to strengthen our operations, and we are moving forward with accountability, efficiency, and transparency. Please note, many of these measures are outlined in the town's response to the audit, found on pages 13 to 18 in the complete report. You can see the entire audit online. An Amherst production company has been nominated for a New York Emmy by Veronica Bargnesi. Rescue Vision Films, an Amherst-based production company, was nominated for a New York Emmy in the category of Best Spanish Production. Rescue Vision Films is a Western New York-based nonprofit that focuses on producing PSAs to spread awareness about societal issues. Co-founders Greg Robbins and Jennifer Yadav brought to life a heartbreaking fiction story that involved a veteran dealing with the effects of PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder. The founders met while Robbins was producing a film, and he cast Yadav in the movie. Robbins wanted to continue to make PSAs, and so together they decided they would create a nonprofit that would highlight different societal issues. Robbins has been in the business of producing films for over 40 years, but started the nonprofit just over a year ago with Yadav. In general, we wanted to spread the light on issues that are swept under the rug or don't usually get a lot of voice, so we decided that a way to illuminate these issues would be to start a nonprofit, said Yadav. After visiting the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, Robbins met many veterans struggling with PTSD and wanted to create something to spread awareness about it. I was filming a PSA, and I was talking to a man who went into combat, and I had asked him if he ever sought help for PTSD, and he said, no, I thought I could do it myself. And so that's where I got the idea to film. I was wrong, said Robbins. The nonprofit has done many different PSAs, ranging from topics like bullying to human trafficking. A lot of the PSAs are done in different languages to widen the audience of viewers and ensure that more people are aware of these topics. The actor in the film is also Spanish-speaking, and so whenever we have the opportunity to provide a Spanish version, we try to do that as much as possible because a significant portion of people throughout the country are Spanish-speaking, said Yadav. The 69th Annual New York Emmy Awards will be held Saturday, October 10th. Both Yadav and Robbins are hopeful that this nomination will continue to spread awareness about their PSAs. Now that we got this Emmy nomination, it will give our name a little more weight and hopefully allow us to bring on more producers and donors and allow us to spread our mission further, said Yadav. And the Rotary Club of Williamsville has awarded scholarships in 2 different categories. In partnership with the Friends of the Amherst Symphony, they presented a $2,000 scholarship to Sarah Patty at a Friends of the Amherst Symphony luncheon held at the Country Club of Buffalo. Also, other awards at the luncheon were Connor Ford, violin, received a $3,000 scholarship, and Aurora Sandner, viola, received the Valerie Haywood $2,000 scholarship. Rotary Club of Williamsville honored two Williamsville South scholarship recipients. Two were awarded during the Salute to Excellence ceremony at the school. Richard A. Wotowicz, President Assistant Governor of Williamsville Rotary Club, presented the scholarships to two deserving recipients, Jordan Marcus and Deepratan Purba. Marcus will be attending the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill to pursue psychology on a pre-med track, and Purba will be studying biology pre-physician assistant at Duville University. You're listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 10 minutes after the hour. We turn now to the Clarence B. Epic Bounce and Splash Pool to open in Clarence beginning Saturday, October 1st through Sunday, August 1st through Sunday, August 30th. Epic Bounce and Splash Park will open for a limited time in Clarence. The attraction will feature large inflatables, giant slides, and obstacle courses, as well as a water park designed to help visitors stay cool during the summer. Epic Bounce was founded by two lifelong friends, now fathers, who wanted to create more opportunities for family fun. After developing the idea for a large inflatable park, they traveled across the country to find a manufacturer to help bring the concept to life. The traveling family entertainment experience specializes in large-scale inflatable attractions and water features designed to entertain guests of all ages. We are looking forward to bringing this event to Clarence, and the Splash Foam Edition will be great for beating the summer heat, said Pharaoh Page, founder of Epic Bounce USA. The park will be open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Thursdays through Sundays, at 4401 Bryant and Stratton Way. It will operate in 4 two-hour sessions each day to comfortably accommodate the maximum number of guests. Tickets are available online, but organizers encourage guests to purchase them early because previous events have sold out. Guests younger than 18 must be accompanied by a parent or guardian in accordance with Epic Bounce's waiver policies. Epic Bounce also offers birthday party packages, which include a 2-hour event, a reserved table and party space, 10 admission tickets, 1 drink and 1 snack per guest, special socks, and VIP line entry. Birthday parties can be booked online for $300, with additional guests costing $20 each. We are grateful to the town of Clarence for the opportunity to bring this one-of-a-kind family experience to Western New York, Page said. Epic Bounce and Splash plans to work with the local community and youth organizations to support local employment. For more information, visit epicbounceusa.com. The Buffalo and Erie County Public Library's Central Library is accepting applications for individuals, businesses, community organizations, and library staff interested in participating in its inaugural How-To Festival on Saturday, September 19th. The free all-ages event, scheduled from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., will feature demonstrations, presentations, and hands-on activities that teach patrons new skills, hobbies, and community resources. Participants may host an informational table or lead a scheduled presentation or workshop. Applications are due by July 31st, and selected participants will be notified by August 15th. Participation is voluntary and space is limited. For more information or to apply, contact Carly Spataro at spatarc@buffalolib.org or call 716-858-8900. Erie County seeks artists to display work. Erie County will hold a new Call for Artists as part of the Arts in Public Places program, focusing on works to be installed exclusively in the Buffalo Convention Center. This opportunity is for artists residing in Erie County with selected projects receiving funding of up to $2,000 per piece. All works will be prominently displayed within the Buffalo Convention Center, providing high visibility and engagement with diverse audiences. The deadline to apply is noon, Monday, August 17th. A virtual Q&A session will be held at 5:30 p.m. on Monday, July 27th. For full details and to apply, visit www.erie.gov/publicart, public art /. This project is administered by the Erie County Department of Environment and Planning and the Arts and Public Places Committee, which is dedicated to commissioning public art that reflects the diversity, creativity, and voices of Erie County residents. Don't miss the chance to have your work featured in a central and high-traffic community space. In the police blotter, on Saturday, July 11th, patrol provided traffic control after a large tree fell and blocked Bickert Drive. Town highway crews responded to cut and remove the tree. On Monday, July 13th, following a traffic stop at Transit Road and Main Street, deputies charged a 33-year-old Buffalo man with third-degree aggravated unlicensed operation. After observing a vehicle pass traffic in the center turn lane at Main Street and Shimmerville Road, patrol conducted a traffic stop and reported finding suspected crack cocaine. A 47-year-old Clarence man was charged with 7th-degree criminal possession of a controlled substance, 2nd-degree obstructing governmental administration, and resisting arrest. On Tuesday, July 14th, a pickup truck struck a stopped vehicle on Main Street, pushing it into a third vehicle. One driver reported suffering a headache, but no other injuries were reported. And on Thursday, July 16th, a vehicle waiting at the stop sign on Bergtold Road at Schisler Road was struck by a vehicle turning left from Schisler Road. One occupant complained of chest pain but declined medical treatment. The driver of the turning vehicle was ticketed for making an improper left turn. Multiple vehicles parked on Bridlewood South Drive and Center Lane were entered during the overnight hours, and items were reported stolen. A suspect was also captured on video unsuccessfully attempting to enter a vehicle on Black Walnut Drive. The investigation is ongoing. An unlocked vehicle with the keys left inside was reported stolen overnight from a residence on Elm Street. The vehicle was recovered several hours later in the city of Buffalo. Celebrating Our Nation's History Across Erie County by Lisa Camara, Deputy Erie County Executive. This month, our nation celebrated its 250th birthday with events commemorating this historic milestone held across Erie County. Many of these celebrations were led in part by the Erie County Historical Commission, a group dedicated to preserving the rich history of our region. The celebrations continue Sunday, August 2nd, when we recognize one of the most important but least celebrated days in our nation's history, that in which 56 members of the Second Continental Congress began signing the Declaration of Independence. 716 celebrates Stars, Stripes, and Signers is a free family-friendly event featuring live entertainment, historical reenactors, family activities, military heritage, food, exhibits, and more, all culminating in a major waterfront fireworks spectacular. I invite all to join us from 4 to 9:30 p.m. at the Buffalo and Erie County Naval and Military Park for this great celebration. Visit Buffalo's continuing to sponsor events across Erie County recognizing America 250. Check with your city, town, or village to see what's happening near you. This year's also a very special one for our region as we mark 125 years since Buffalo hosted the Pan American Exposition. In 1901, Buffalo became the center of culture, design, and innovation as crowds gathered to see great displays showcasing the new power of electricity, giving Buffalo its nickname, the City of Light. This historic anniversary will be recognized on Saturday, August 1st, with a walking tour hosted by the Buffalo History Museum, the only structure from the exposition still standing. Walk along the streets of Buffalo while learning about the grounds where over 8 million people from around the world enjoyed exhibits, shows, and feats of design. The cost is $20 per person and includes a souvenir map. To learn more and to register, visit buffalohistory.org/event/Pan American Walking Tour 3. Year-round, there's much to explore and learn about our region's rich history. Forest Lawn Cemetery is the final resting place for notable figures, including veterans from the Revolutionary War, President Millard Fillmore, groundbreaking politician Shirley Chisholm, and many more historic Americans. The cemetery is open to the public daily. Docent-led walking tours are also available on select dates for $20, or jump on the famous Sunday in the Cemetery trolley tour for $30. For information, visit forestlawn.com. Erie County also plays home to many historic books and artifacts. You can experience the nearly 500,000 unique materials in a behind-the-scenes look at the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library's Special Collections Department at the Central Branch Library, on the fourth Saturday of each month. Registration is suggested but not required. To learn more, visit buffalolib.org/what's happening. Lastly, I remind everyone to save the date for Doors Open Buffalo, presented by Explore Buffalo. This annual Choose Your Own Adventure event will take place on Saturday, September 26th. Get excited about our region's architectural and historical significance. More details coming soon. I wish everyone a great rest of their summer, one that we will surely remember for many years to come. You are listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 20 minutes after the hour. Looking now at the Cheektowaga Bee. Residency questions lead to Nowicki's resignation from the town board, by Michael Pulse. The Cheektowaga Democratic Committee issued a statement Thursday, July 16th, announcing that Democratic Council member Stephen Nowicki would step down from the town board after questions arose about his residency. Resident Wally Carrero raised the issue at the Tuesday, July 14th town board meeting. "Are you going to be a man and submit your resignation to the board?" asked Carrero. Immediately after learning of the questions surrounding Councilmember Nowicki's residency, I contacted members of the Cheektowaga Democratic Committee to discuss options for resolving this issue in a manner that best serves our committee, said Chair Lynn Diermeyer in the committee statement. We agreed that unless Mr. Nowicki could commit to making his Cheektowaga home his primary residence, he should submit his resignation. Diermeyer said that on the morning of July 16th, Nowicki informed her of his decision to resign effective immediately. "This is the right course of action as a matter of ethics, and it is the one that allows the voters of Cheektowaga to choose Mr. Nowicki's replacement," she said. "As we turn to the task of naming a candidate for the fall election, I thank Mr. Nowicki for his service and wish him well in future endeavors." Nowicki said that in mid-April, he and his wife bought a home in Buffalo as a future investment. Their plan, he said, was for his wife to live there while he finished his term on the Cheektowaga Town Board and continued living at the property in Cheektowaga. He said the mortgage lender and others involved in the process, as well as friends, political contacts, and people in the greater community, saw no issue. "I told everyone I thought I could about this, and nobody saw any problems until Tuesday night," said Nowicki. "I wasn't hiding it from anyone. I just also wasn't showboating about it. It was my personal business." Nowicki said that on one of the mortgage document pages, instead of it just being his wife that was there, it was the both of them that had to reside there. "I don't know if I was lied to in the process, I was misinformed, or I just didn't properly read the documents, but regardless, I signed the paperwork, and that's on me." The diocese provides background on suspended priests' removal after child pornography charges. The Diocese of Buffalo said that in the spirit of transparency and full cooperation with law enforcement authorities, it wishes to provide background concerning the status and further details relating to the Reverend Jeffrey Nowak's removal from active ministry. Nowak is a suspended priest of the diocese and inactive pastor of Our Lady Help of Christians Parish in Cheektowaga. Nowak, 46, of Lackawanna, was arrested July 9th and charged with receipt and possession of child pornography. U.S. Attorney Michael DiGiacomo announced Nowak had been placed on administrative leave by the diocese in 2019 as a federal investigation ensued into allegations that he had inappropriate contact with children and the harassment of a seminarian. Investigators later linked him to the username PigBoy666 in a Telegram group whose members shared child pornography during Zoom calls. A search warrant executed at his residence recovered electronic devices containing videos of child pornography. The charges carry a mandatory minimum of 5 years and a maximum of 20 years in federal prison. According to the diocese, in 2019 it was advised of numerous complaints about Nowak. The diocese added that none of the complaints included any allegation of inappropriate sexual contact, possession of child pornography, or sexual abuse of a minor. However, given clear evidence of inappropriate conduct of Jeffrey Nowak with adults, then Bishop Richard Malone removed him indefinitely from active ministry in 2019, the diocese said. The diocese further required Nowak to engage in professional counseling, which he repeatedly failed to do. In 2020, then Apostolic Administrator Bishop Edward Scharfenberger reviewed Nowak's circumstances and decided to remove him from the office of pastor of Our Lady of Help of Christians through a process required by canon law, despite the fact that he was on indefinite leave. The diocese added that for a brief period, Nowak resided at Bishop Head residence for retired priests. However, Nowak was not a retired priest, but a priest whose faculties to function as a priest had been indefinitely suspended. Nowak subsequently moved to his parents' home in Lackawanna. According to the diocese, following Bishop Michael Fisher's appointment to the Diocese of Buffalo in January 2021, Fisher personally met with Nowak after reviewing details of his removal from active ministry. Fisher informed Nowak that he would not consider reappointing him to a parish nor allow him to function as a priest within the diocese. Fisher also made it clear he would advise against any other bishop or diocese accepting Nowak as a priest if he pursued that route. The diocese also said Fisher encouraged Nowak to personally seek voluntary removal from the clerical state by the Vatican, a process known as laicization. As there was no allegation of child sexual abuse or other criminal allegation, the diocese had no grounds to petition the Vatican to remove Nowak from the clerical state against his will. As required by canon law, the diocese must provide some level of financial sustenance to priests of the diocese, even if they've been removed from active ministry, though not formally removed from the clerical state. As such, Nowak was provided a modest monthly stipend, considerably less than what an active priest receives, and also less than what a retired priest receives. In light of the abhorrent criminal conduct recently alleged by federal investigators, the diocese is no longer providing any financial support to Reverend Nowak, who remains incarcerated pending his trial, said the diocese. Moreover, Bishop Fisher has now instructed the diocese's judicial vicar to gather the necessary documentation based on these latest allegations to petition the Vatican's dicastery for the doctrine of faith to dismiss Jeffrey Nowak from the clerical state. Satish K. Tripathi reflects on time as UB president by Veronica Bagnesi. For Satish K. Tripathi, becoming the president at a highly acclaimed institution wasn't always his plan. Growing up in a small village in India, he had assumed he would become a math teacher, but with his continued education, he went further in academia. Tripathi started his career at the University of Maryland as a faculty member and then as department chair. At the University at Buffalo, he was a faculty member and a department chair, and then moved up to work as a provost officer, then became president. He was the first international-born president in UB's history. He will be stepping down, and Carolyn Attardo-Jenko, Ph.D., will assume the role on August 10th. Jenko will become the first woman to serve as the president in UB's 180-year history. Provost really gives you a good view of the academic institution, because you act as the head of the academic house. But with the presidency, there is an added relationship to the outside world, said Tripathi, who was appointed the 15th president of the University at Buffalo on April 18, 2011. Throughout the course of Tripathi's 20-plus years at UB, he spent 15 of those years as president and learned a lot of valuable information while working in academia. As president, I learned that university means different things to different people. You know, as a student, you're looking at the university through a different lens than as a faculty member, and it's important to take both into account as president, said Tripathi. He explained that to properly run a university, it's important to take everyone's perspective and use them as guiding points to continue to improve the university experience. He credits both his experience as a statistician and his time as a faculty member as helping him the most during his presidency. Because he had previously held a position as a department head, he had insight as to what would be helpful to department members. I think I got lucky because my degrees in physics and math relied heavily on looking at statistics, and I feel that that has been very helpful for me for analyzing a problem and looking at a problem in different perspectives. That's not to say, though, that you must hold similar degrees as me to become president, but in my case, I found them very beneficial, said Tripathi. During Tripathi's presidency, he oversaw the building of the downtown medical campus, the Jacobs School of Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, which opened in 2017 and has aided both the community and students. Moving the medical campus downtown was not only beneficial to our students because they'd be closer to our medical partners and other research centers, but it was also helpful to the Buffalo community. It added to the economics of the city center, said Tripathi. As Tripathi's time at UB comes to a close, he's looking forward to taking some time for sabbatical, but ultimately plans to return to academia. I'll be taking a sabbatical to refresh myself, but then I plan on coming back as faculty. Of course, it might change, but as of now, I'm thinking of focusing on AI and ethics, said Tripathi. You're listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 30 minutes after the hour. Turning to the Lancaster Deputy, sporting licenses will be available at the town clerk's office August the 3rd. Sporting licenses will go on sale at the town clerk's office starting at 8 a.m. Monday, August 3rd. Following August 3rd, licenses can be purchased from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. To expedite purchase of a license, bring a driver's license or a previous sportsman's license. Any sportsman who finds it inconvenient to appear in person during regular municipal business hours may allow another person to purchase their license. This requires the representing individual to bring the applicant's driver's license or previous hunting license. The fees associated with the license must be paid at the time of license purchase. The village of Lancaster will transform into a medieval marketplace from noon to 6 p.m. Saturday, August 8th, as the 5th annual Lancaster Renaissance Street Fair invites attendees to don their finest Renaissance-themed attire for a day of costumed fun. The free-to-browse event will feature live performers and roaming Renaissance entertainment throughout the village, along with a fire breather and a live blacksmith demonstrations. A Queen's Parade and costume contest will give attendees the chance to show off their period dress, while fairies, magic, and children's activities round out the family-friendly programming. Entertainment highlights include Bill Baldwin's Magic Show, the Nickel City Longswordsman, Buffalo Aerial Performers, the Ghostbusters, and Bewitched Buffalo. Fencing demonstrations will be presented by the Barony of the Riderick Hale, and Nickel City Canine Rescue will also be available. More than 50 Renaissance-themed vendors will line the streets, selling handcrafted goods and unique items, along with themed beverages from Lilybell Meadery. Organizers are encouraging attendees to mark their calendars and come dressed for a day of medieval fun in Lancaster. Alden Heritage Week is set to celebrate community in America 250. Alden is gearing up for a 6-day celebration of local history and heritage this summer as the Alden Historical Society and the Alden Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition team up to present Alden Heritage Week, running Monday, August 3rd through Saturday, August 8th. The lineup, tied into the nation's 250th anniversary celebrations, offers a full slate of family-friendly events across town. The week kicks off from 4 to 7:30 p.m. on Monday, August 3rd, with the Alden Farmers Market and Car Cruise, presented by the Alden Chamber of Commerce at Alden Town Park. The evening will include a kids' day with face painting, balloon artists, and more, alongside fresh local produce and classic cars. From 4 to 8 p.m. Tuesday, August 4th, the Alden Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition will host a National Night Out celebration at Alden Town Park. The town of Alden will present a summer concert in the park at 7 p.m. Wednesday, August 5th, at Alden Town Park, featuring the Johnny Smoke Rock Show. From 5 to 7 p.m. on Thursday, August 6th, Touch a Truck Night, presented by the Alden Hook and Ladder Fire Company at Alden Town Park, gives kids a chance to explore the fire trucks and other vehicles up close. From 5 to 7 p.m. Friday, August 7th, the Pink Cow will host an ice cream social at 13119 Broadway, Alden, offering baby ice cream cones with red, white, and blue sprinkles for $2.50. The week wraps up on Saturday, August 8th, with a chicken and rib barbecue presented by the Alden Hook and Ladder Ladies Auxiliary at Alden's Fireman's Park, running from noon until sold out. A half chicken dinner is $16 and a half rib dinner is $14. Organizers note that dates and times of events are subject to change. Lancaster Dog Control will host its second annual Bark Crawl from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday, August 1st at Cayuga Creek Park on West Main Street, with this year's event doubling as a celebration of America's 250th anniversary. The free, family-friendly event will feature local vendors, pet adoption opportunities, and CPR and first aid training for dogs. Area rescue organizations will be on hand with dogs available for adoption, and attendees can shop with local vendors and pick up complimentary pup cups for their four-legged companions. New this year, organizers are hosting a patriotic dog costume contest in honor of the nation's semi-quincentennial. Entry costs $10 per dog, with all proceeds going toward providing a veteran with a service dog. All dogs attending the Bark Crawl must be friendly and licensed. For more information, contact Lancaster Dog Control. The historic Hull Family Home and Farmstead will host a beginner-friendly watercolor paint night from 5 to 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday, August 5th in the property's barn. Guided by instructor Becky Patterson, a graphic designer, artist, and illustrator from Northtowns, with more than 20 years of creative professional experience, participants will paint a blueberry-themed piece, step by step. No prior painting experience is required. By the end of the 2-hour session, each guest will take home a finished 8 by 10-inch painting, complete with a protective sleeve, ready to frame or give as a gift. All supplies are included, along with light snacks and drinks. The evening will also include a tour of the Hull Family Home and Farmstead. Tickets are available at my.cheddarup.com. And the Lancaster Village Porch Fest will enter its third year, running from noon to 5 p.m. on Sunday, August 16th, featuring popular bands from around the region scheduled to play outside of local homes and businesses. Attendees are invited to stroll from house to house, bring a lawn chair, and enjoy an afternoon of live music in a walkable, family-friendly setting. And Lancaster's Police Blotter on July 10th at 11:41 a.m., police responded to Motel 6 on Freeman Road for a report of customer trouble. Officers made contact with the complainant and, after obtaining her identity, discovered an active arrest warrant out of town at Cheektowaga Police Department. Cheektowaga Police confirmed the warrant, and the woman was taken into custody without incident and transported to Cheektowaga headquarters, where she was turned over to Cheektowaga Police. On July 11th at 3:42 a.m., police responded to a report of a suspicious person at Spring Hill Suites on Transit Road after a witness reported that a man entered the hotel staff break room and took a tablet used as a time clock, placing it in his backpack and leaving westbound on a bicycle. Officers located the man riding south on Transit Road and recovered the tablet, valued at $300, from his backpack. Hotel staff initially wished to pursue charges, but after officers determined the man was a resident of the Olmsted Community Residence, Buffalo Psychiatric Center, and had walked away from the group home, the hotel declined to press charges. The man was released and given a ride back to the residence. A trespass notice was issued. On July 12th at 2:47 a.m., police responded to a suspicious vehicle parked outside a convenience store, finding a man asleep in the driver's seat of a running sedan. Officers observed a blue pill in the rear passenger door handle, which was identified as suspected oxycodone. A search of the vehicle turned up 2 plastic baggies containing a white rock-like substance consistent with crack cocaine, along with suspected marijuana. The man was taken into custody, transported to the Lancaster Police Station, and released on 2 appearance tickets for criminal possession of a controlled substance. At 5:30 a.m., police responded to a report of theft of services at Denny's on Transit Road after 2 men and 2 women left the restaurant without paying for their meal, totaling $89.51. The complainant declined to pursue charges against the unknown individuals at this time, but requested they be trespassed from the location if identified. Investigation pending. At 2:37 p.m., police responded to a grocery store on Transit Road for an attempted larceny after a store employee reported a woman loaded a cart with cleaning supplies valued at $481.06 and walked out the front of the store past all points of sale without attempting to pay. She was stopped at the exit before merchandise left the store, and all items were recovered by store management. Tops wished to pursue charges and requested the suspect be trespassed if identified. In Depew on July 11th, a village resident reported fraudulent charges on her Citizens Bank card, first noticed July 9th. Two unauthorized charges of $228.76 and $70.19 were posted before she could reach the bank, and a third charge of $226.79 appeared July 11th. The bank advised her to file a police report to dispute the charges and issued her a new card. She was not out any money at the time of the report. Case closed. July 15th. A Claude Drive resident reported her vehicle was stolen sometime overnight between July 14th and July 15th, with a debit card left inside the vehicle used to make a McDonald's purchase totaling $97.92. Using her vehicle's companion app, she located the car, parked down the street with her wallet, keys, and more than $300 cash untouched inside. Neighbors' video footage showed a group of 4 vehicles slowly rolling down the street, checking door handles overnight. The victim's car was seen on camera around 4 a.m. and was back on her street minutes later. She canceled her card, declined to press charges over the debit card use, and reported nothing else missing or damaged. Footage was forwarded to a supervisor for use in similar area cases. Depew issues annual awards to village employees and residents by Jim Sinner. The Depew mayor and trustees took time during the Founders' Day celebrations to issue awards to the dedicated public employees and standout local residents on Saturday, July 18th at Veterans Park. The Depew Wildcat Marching Band was the evening's lead recipient of an award. We all know they were down in Washington, D.C. for the National Memorial Day Parade, said Mayor Kevin Peterson. It's a remarkable achievement to get invited and perform. Depew Wildcat Marching Band Director Bob Tsonka discussed the sense of honor and excitement felt by students and staff at the school to participate in such a memorable and patriotic event. We had 45 kids from the high school marching band and color guard go down to Washington, D.C., where we marched down Constitution Avenue on Memorial Day, Tsonka said. The Washington Monument was right there, the Capitol building, the White House. It was an amazing event, and my students were fantastic. She added, It's something I hope my students will remember, and I know myself I'll remember it for the coming years. It was just an amazing accomplishment. Depew Fire Department Chief Brian Musilak delivered one of 2 Employees of the Year awards at the event to firefighter Adam Schuldes. This young man I've seen growing up over the years. He started off when he was 14 years old, becoming a great member of our department. This is a gentleman I can call any time, day or night, with something to do, and he's willing to do it, said Musilak. George Del Conte III received an Employee of the Year award from the village. George was selected by a majority of all the employees of the village, Peterson said. During those 34 years, he's been serving the residents in our village departments. Other award winners included Donna Scott, Business of the Year, Kevin Grisbeck, Certificate of Recognition, and Ken Pick, Certificate of Recognition. Thomas Nagy, a soon-to-be freshman at Depew, placed 30th out of 388 competitors in the under-14 boys division at the 2026 Junior Gold Championships held July 13th to 18th at multiple bowling centers across the Minneapolis, Minnesota area. Nagy, who as an 8th grader helped Depew's boys bowling team win its 3rd straight ECIC Small Schools North Division title, was in 3rd place after the first day of qualifiers, jumped to 1st place after day 2, fell to 3rd place after day 3, and came in 7th after day 4 to qualify for the top 55 and make the advancers round. There, Nagy took 24th out of 36 to reach the second advancers round, where he finished 30th. Nagy's total pin count for the tournament was 4,732 over 26 games, equating to a 192 average. Also competing from the Depew-Lancaster area were Emma Felton, a soon-to-be senior at Depew, who finished 47th out of 326 in the under-16 girls division, and recent Lancaster graduate Lucas Selk, who tried for 334th out of 915 in the under-18 boys division. Depew's Dan Seelig said he's honored to be named the 2026 All-B Softball Coach of the Year, but couldn't have won it without his players producing one of the best seasons in program history. The Lady Wildcats won the Section 6 Class A title reached the state regional final and finished with a 16-7 record. It's always an honor to be named Coach of the Year and for your colleagues who you were competing against to vote for you, but it's a team award, and I appreciate everything the girls did for me to receive it, said Seelig, a 1994 Dubuque graduate who was a physical education teacher at Cayuga Heights Elementary. It all came down to how we ended up playing. Seelig's program has been a model of consistency, winning 13 division titles, 5 section titles, 3 regional championships, 1 sub-regional win, and reaching 1 state final. Depew beat Lakeshore 7-2 for the Section 6 Class A2 title on May 28th, and the A1 champion Starpoint 6-4 for the overall Class A title on May 30th. It was the first time Depew won the Class A, which is a totally different scope of teams who are typically bigger and deeper than Class B. Seelig said, I'm not putting down the B teams because it's so difficult to do, but to do it in A and win the overall A title was one of the proudest moments in my coaching career. There is much more to this article, which if you would like it to be read to you, you can call 716-821-5555 and staff will be happy to read the rest of it to you. In all-B softball, and North Tonawanda's Dandria powers her way to Player of the Year honors by Patrick Nagy. North Tonawanda senior Addison Dandria will likely be in the program's record book for some time. The 2026 All-B Softball Player of the Year set the Lady Jacks' single-season home run record with 7 career home runs, record with 22, and played a huge role in the Lady Jacks reaching the AA state regionals and finishing with a 19-1 record. It's a huge honor, especially having other coaches vote on it and seeing the growth in me as a player, Dandria said. Dandria said the home run records are a testament to all the work she puts in that nobody sees, either going to her hitting coach, to the field with her parents, or spending time in the gym. It's unnoticed work, and I take so much pride in that because I hope the younger girls will come into the program chasing these records and want to work toward these records, Dandria said. It'll make them a better player and help the team. The 5-year player, she hit as an 8th grader but didn't play in the field, and 4-year starter in center field, led the Lady Jacks at the cleanup spot in batting average .464, on-base percentage .565, slugging 1,000 hits, 26, RBIs 27, runs scored 26, and tied for the team leading in stolen bases 8. She tied for second in doubles 7. She also went over 100 career RBIs and 100 runs scored after going out over 100 career hits as a junior. Dandria, who also earned Niagara Frontier League Player of the Year, First Team All-NFL, All-Western New York, and All-State Class AA honors, as well as the team's Outstanding Performer Award honoree, recorded 2 or more hits in 8 games. She is the one you want in big moments, Coach Emily Gramp said. This year, we moved her down the lineup to 4th. She'd been hitting 3rd for pretty much her whole career. But I finally got some kids who were going to have some great on-base averages, and I put them in front of her so she could cash in on more RBIs, and she did a great job. All the people in front of her did a good job getting on base. Her RBIs told the story this year. Again, if you would like to hear more of this story, please call 716-821-5555, and we'll be happy to read it to you. Also in All-B softball, the champions fill stacked first-team lineup by Patrick Nagy. The 2026 All-B softball first team is brimming with championship talent. Class AAA state champion Lancaster and AA state semifinalist Orchard Park each have 2 honorees, while ECIC 1 champion Williamsville North and co-ECIC 2 champion Sweet Home each have 1 selection. Here is a list of these players. Again, I will not be reading all of it, but just their names and a little bit. Please call 716-821-5555 if you want to hear the rest about any of these players. Maddie Matthews, Lancaster, pitcher. Sophomore Maddie Matthews emerged as one of the most dominant pitchers in Section 6. The ECIC Pitcher of the Year finished with 70 innings pitched, a 7-2 record, 1.20 ERA, 83 strikeouts, and 6 walks, and only allowed 12 earned runs. Her walks and hits per inning pitched was 842. Brenna DeWald, Lancaster, catcher. Senior Brenna DeWald was a rock behind the plate for the Lady Legends. The 4-year player and 3-year starting catcher led Lancaster with 29 hits, including 20 singles and 11 stolen bases, and tied for the team lead with 23 runs scored and 9 doubles. She batted .420 with 18 RBIs and only struck out 3 times in 81 at-bats. Ella Hernandez, Orchard Park, infield. The Orchard Park Junior did it all for the Lady Quakers, battling cleanup on a potent offense while anchoring an airtight defense at shortstop. Part of last year's Class AA New York State Championship team, she helped Orchard Park to an overall record of 16-5 and a return trip to the state Final Four that ended in the semifinals. She made the shift to short this year after starting all last season at third base. Elise McDuffie, Sweet Home, infield. Sweet Home's Elise McDuffie started generating some buzz with her play last year as an 8th grader. McDuffie literally and figuratively knocked it out of the park as a freshman to help the Lady Panthers win a share of the ECIC Division II title for the first time since 1998. In 75 plate appearances, McDuffie batted .508 with an on-base percentage of .573 and a slugging percentage of 1,000. The second-team All-Western New York and first-team ECIC 2 All-Star and Sweet Home's Offensive Player of the Year tallied 33 hits, including 15 singles, 11 doubles, and 7 home runs, and recorded 25 RBIs and 30 runs scored. She walked 10 times, only struck out 3 times, and stole 5 bases. She's a tough nut at the plate, especially with runners in scoring position, Sweet Home coach Crystal Carlson said. And finally, Mackenzie McCann, Orchard Park, outfield. Versatility is the best word to describe Orchard Park Junior Mackenzie McCann, who split her time between first base and center field, often dictated by injuries and whomever was pitching on a given day. She is completely selfless, Schermerhorn said. She was always happy to do whatever we needed her to do. She knew what her role was, and she was ready in either case because she practiced a lot at both positions. McCann played mostly first base on last year's state championship team, but had picked up time in center this season when senior Lainey Babbage, last year's All-B Player of the Year, got hurt. She has tremendous speed, and she's not afraid to lay out, Schermerhorn said. She's very aggressive on the field. She has great range and a strong arm. And Addie Malone, Williamsville North, outfield. Hard work paid off for Addie Malone. The Williamsville North senior right fielder batted .455 with an on-base percentage of .544 and slugging percentage of .697. Totaled 30 hits, including 20 singles, 5 doubles, 4 triples, and 1 home run, and recorded 17 RBIs and 28 runs scored. She also stole 10 bases. In her mind, she didn't have the junior year that she wanted to, and instead of complaining about it or making excuses, she put her head down, worked all winter, and came in with a good mindset as a returning third-year player and had the senior year that I think she hoped to have, North coach Mike Menudo said. If you watched her practice, it was not surprising to know why she was successful. Every drill she did was full effort. It's a great example to young kids to see a girl who's a starter and third year up on varsity, but is working as hard as you'd expect to see some freshmen who are just trying to make the team. You're listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 7 minutes before the hour. Looking at upcoming events, there will be a free community celebration marking America's 250th anniversary, Saturday, August 1st at Old Fort Niagara. The event, scheduled from 5:30 to 10 p.m., will feature a live drone show by Skyworks, food vendors, and musical performances. Entertainment will include the Niagara County-wide America 250 Concert Band, David and Ginger Hildebrand, and the U.S. Army Band. The drone show will highlight the nation's semi-centennial celebration with aerial displays. The North Tonawanda Police Department will host the National Night Out from 6 to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, August 4th, behind the police station, City Hall at 216 Payne Avenue. This annual community building campaign is designed to strengthen neighborhood camaraderie and police community partnerships. The Carnegie Arts Center will present Live on the Lawn from 6 to 8 p.m. on Wednesday, August 5th at the Carnegie Arts Center. Bring a chair, a friend, and a picnic, and enjoy live music. The event is free to CAC members and $10 for non-members. Tickets can be purchased online or at the gate. The Carnegie Art Spree will be held from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, August 15th, and Sunday, August 16th on Canal Street in Tonawanda. Food trucks will be on site, and there will also be a variety of cafes and restaurant options within the surrounding downtown district. The Gateway Harbor stage will feature live music to enjoy and is located near picnic tables and seating. Public restrooms are available at the Hub facility behind Canal Street. Admission is free. Campfire Story Nights will continue August 11th and 25th at the Jefferson Youth Center. The night will begin with independent reading time and a book swap, and will end the night with s'mores and a read aloud. There'll be a literacy-themed activity each story night. People are encouraged to bring their own chairs. The event is offered for children ages 4 to 13, but each child must be accompanied by an adult. Tickets are $5 for each child. Free outdoor music concerts will take place August 6th, 13th, and 20th at the Aquatic Fitness Center front lawn. Local bands will perform. The Kenton Meals on Wheels food truck will be available to buy food. Concerts are weather dependent, so check the town's Facebook page for updates. And there will be a meat and basket raffle, 2 p.m. Saturday, September 12th at the North Tonawanda Senior Center. Tickets available. For $10 are available for purchase at the door for $12. Raffle sheets will be $5 per sheet for 25 tickets. Some shortened versions of stories you can hear completely if you call 716-821-5555. Conrad honors 2026 Woman of Distinction Julie Hill. State Assemblyman Bill Conrad on July 17th presented Julie Hill with the 2026 Woman of Distinction honor, an awards program now in its 5th year. Hill is a 10-year veteran of Mental Health Advocates of Western New York, a nonprofit that provides fellowship groups, family and workplace support, treatment referrals, and more. The ceremony took place at their offices on Broadway in Buffalo, where she was joined by her colleagues. The Town of Tonawanda Police Department and the Town of Tonawanda Police Club have reached a new 4-year collective bargaining agreement covering January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2029. Although approved this month, the contract is retroactive to January 1st. The contract marks a significant step in repairing relations between town leadership and the police club following labor disputes last year. Town of Tonawanda employees have been awarded Red Cross awards. In January 2026, a man using the Aquatic and Fitness Center of Tonawanda went into cardiac arrest in the locker room, but 4 town employees were able to perform a life-saving procedure to save him. The first to the scene were front desk attendants, who then quickly alerted the lifeguards. 2 of the supervisors, Liam Bergerson and Sam Baxter, and the facility director, Nolan DeJesus, performed CPR. Although paramedics were called, another lifeguard, Miranda DeCourcy, jumped into action using an AED to get his heart beating again. You've been listening to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Stay tuned for our second hour. Your reader for this hour has been Dasha. Thank you for listening.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have a reading of our South Towns papers, including Orchard Park, Hamburg, East Aurora, and West Seneca's B Papers or Sons. At 3 o'clock, we have the Ample Eagle, and at 4 o'clock, we have the Grand Island Niagara County Tribune Sentinel. Stay tuned for these readings and more throughout the day, and contact us if you have comments, suggestions, or questions. You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Volunteer radio readers broadcast daily readings, 24 hours a day, of newspapers, magazines, books, and other printed matter to area people who are blind or have a print disability, who are provided reading radios. The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service has broadcast almost 40 years of radio readings to those without sight. A broadcast signal is provided at no charge by WNED. Radio Reading Studios are at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga. The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have another print disability, which may